Chapter 14. Just by knowing you're happy and still smile, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Today, Frau Prapa and Natnapa are busy in the kitchen in the afternoon. When it's time for dinner, the food is served all over the table, and the kids enjoy the feast. After finishing the savory dishes, they relish the fragrant, creamy banana and coconut milk. CEO should be happy with a big meal celebrating the end of the semester. But since he knows he's running out of time, the food isn't as delicious as it should be. When the meal and the conversation between the two families are over, CEO helps Cake pack up. It takes them almost an hour to transfer his stuff to the cardboard boxes. Running out of newspaper for shock absorbing, Cake goes downstairs to fetch some more. Meanwhile, the smaller boy rises and stretches before stepping back to lean against the wall. He sweeps his eyes over the cardboard boxes and the huge suitcase in the center of the room. Cake's stuff is scattered around, but it will soon either be packed or thrown away. The thought of this room being empty and this house becoming lifeless pushes CEO on the verge of tears. Cake is his other half. It's what CEO thinks. As CEO is lost in thought, the door is pushed open. Cake enters with a plate of fruits and smiles when his eyes meet his neighbor's. Mom gave us pears. You see, CEO nods. Go on and pack up. I'm tired. There's too many things. I put your mangas in the box. I'll tape it and write on the box so you know what to unpack. Thank you. Cake smiles. He sets the plate on the desk and grabs a figure wrapped nicely in a newspaper. CEO did it. Has always been everything to Cake. I'll put this in the manga box. CEO mumbles a response and pulls a box from under the bed. What about this? Will you bring it with you? The room owner turns his head and smiles in amusement. I almost forgot that. Cake says, sitting cross-legged on the floor. He removes the lid and takes out the stuff inside one by one. I've missed this. The smaller boy lets out a sigh. This will take long, given how Cake has sat down. Even so, CEO can't say no to those sparkling eyes. He settles by Cake's side. You got this top when you bought your school uniforms. I remember. CEO points at the round red plastic toy tied in a rope. I practiced so hard back then to compete with Peak and the guys. Yeah. And these marbles? You played them so often that you hurt your fingers. CEO says. He even got hematoma. It was so fun back then. The bigger boy laughs when his eyes catch the cart truck made from clay, all squashed out of shape. Oh, it took us ages to make this. Don't touch it, it'll get on your hands. Cake pouts. Getting scolded, he switches his gaze from the clay truck to the round plastic carts. These ones came with the snacks I bought. How naughty! You bought snacks just to collect the cards. I couldn't eat it at all, so greasy. Smiling, Sia watches Cake take out each of the old toys he has kept. Some got pale and damaged. He looks so happy he's traveling back in time when he had fun with these things. When Sia was in his mama's tummy until he was brought into this world, Cake was already here. CEO can confidently say there's never been a time in his life where Cake wasn't in it. Cake is a big part of all of his memories. Thus, CEO feels devastated because it won't be like that anymore. Cake will have his own world. CEO will have his. And of course, their shared personal world will disappear. Here, here, here! Cake cries out in excitement. He grasps the clean condensed milk cans drilled in the middle and connected with a rope. He passes one to CEO. Speak to it! Cake places the other one over his ear. Cake's joyful face makes CEO relent and play along. Although they need to finish packing up, this moment is too warm to dismiss. Once Cake has explored the box to his heart's content, CEO speaks. Will you take them with you? The bigger boy flicks his eyes over each toy with a smile. He heaves a sigh and switches his gaze to CEO. No, I'll leave them with you. When we grow older, we will look at them the way we're doing now. CEO presses his lips together and swallows. Take care of them well. Don't lose them, okay? Mm, I won't. CEO agrees, closes the lid, and pushes it to the side. Pack up. No matter how long they reminisce about their sweet past, they have to eventually return to the present, where everything goes on in reality. Several moments in CEO's life seemed to pass by so fast. It was as if the moments he had been impatiently waiting for were over in the blink of an eye, instantly becoming the past. Even if he thought he had spent each second to the fullest, he was still sad when it ended. The night before Cake's departure, they cuddle on the bed. Ease isn't the only feeling in the warmth and familiar atmosphere. There is fear and inexplicable anxiety in it. Cake? Hmm? Cake answers in a low voice as soon as he's cold, like he's been waiting. Are you still up? You're one to talk. Why are you not sleeping? I don't want tomorrow to come. Cake smiles, tightening his arms around the smaller boy. You won't be able to get up to see me off tomorrow. I will. If I don't get up, who will wake you? Right. Theo buries his face in Cake's chest. Are you excited? A little. They go silent after exchanging a few words. It may look like they have nothing to say, but there are loads of things in their minds, too many to pick out in one night. Cake, hmm? You have to wake up by yourself from now on. Don't be a sleepyhead. Okay, the bigger boy replies softly. Eat vegetables. He about told me the food there is high fat. It's bad for your health. You too. Eat a lot. You're super thin, you know? I'm not joking. Okay. Theo nods, hugging Cake more tightly. You have to shower before going to bed. It's dirty. I told you multiple times, but you never listened. You should play outside some more. Your skin is pale as it never touches the sunlight. You won't grow. The bigger boy strokes his head like usual. Didn't you say you'd catch up with me? You need to be careful. You always hurt yourself from playing too hard and never care to treat the wounds. Seo doesn't know. His voice is shaking. I I won't be there to scold you to dress your wounds. You can get tetanus. They suddenly go quiet for no reason, not knowing why they move closer to each other despite the already tight hug. Ew, Seo nods. Hmm? When I'm gone, you have to make lots of new friends. Seo wishes he could say cake is enough for him like before, but when he opens his mouth, he realizes cake won't be here anymore. Talk to other people and get to know them so you can rely on each other later, Cake says sternly. Understand? Yes, I understand. Tell me you will do it. Are you making a stubborn face? No. Hearing a chuckle overhead, Seo pulls away slightly and gazes up at Cake in the dark. I'm not. See? This is your stubborn face. Nonsense. Cake smiles. Take good care of yourself, Eo. As much as I've taken care of you. Seo presses his lips together and dips his chin. He doesn't want to cry tonight. Cake will be worried. You take good care of yourself. I won't be there to help you out. You don't need to hold it. Cake doesn't have to talk like he knows CEO so well. His eyes are already brimming with tears. Just cry. You still have my chest to cry on right now. Cake jokes, but the way he strokes CEO's back is so gentle that his heart trembles. At last, CEO can't hold back his tears. With his face on Cake's chest, CEO sobs so hard that his whole body shakes. He wishes he could be selfish and tell Cake not to leave, but crying in a day like this is mean enough. The smaller boy clutches the bigger boy's shirt so hard that it wrinkles when he hears a whisper in his ear. I won't disappear. Those words make CEO cry even more. How cruel, Desert Boy. Long Pao glances at his brother occasionally. He drove him to see Cake's family off at the airport. Now, his worried CEO will burst into tears. As CEO waits for his best friend's family to check in at the counter, his eyes are visibly red. Ew. The small boy looks up. Yes? Are you okay? His older brother smiles gently, patting his head. If I say I'm not, will Cake not go? Long Pao presses his lips together, wiping his brother's eyes. Cake will be back. Time always flies. When that time comes, we might not be as close. Long Pao pauses to think, understanding his brother's worry. You've known Cake since birth. It's been 15 years, he says, stroking his little brother's cheek to comfort him. It'll only be 3 years. They can't be compared to all those years you've been together, right? Nothing will change between you and Cake. Trust me. Okay. Look, you're tearing up. Pouting, Theo wipes his tears quickly with the back of his hand. I won't cry today. I promise, Cake. That's one challenging promise. Long Pao smiles, locking his eyes on his brother in adoration. But you can do it. It means you've grown up. I've grown up, the small boy says softly. He turns his head to Cake coming back with his family. We'll be headed inside now. Thank you for seeing us off, pal. Annette says with a smile. My pleasure. Have a safe flight, Uncle Tanet. And proud. Long Pao smiles, shifting his gaze to Cream, who steps up and holds his arm. You too. Be a good girl. This one is way whinier than CEO. She hugged him all night. Despite her drowsiness, she wouldn't go home. She shares the clinginess with CEO. Hiya pao, don't forget me. Promise? I promise. I'll wait for you to come back. Long Pao cracks a soft smile, touching the girl's cheek. Take care of yourself. Don't catch a cold. Cream nods, her eyes and nose red. Long Pao smiles and pays respects to the adults. Goodbye, Uncle Tanet, and Prow. We'll be back. They both acknowledge the farewell. Tanet nods to his wife and touches his son's shoulder. Let's go, Cake. We'll be late. Can you wait for me at the gate with Cream? I'll talk to CEO for a bit. Cake asks. CEO's expression worries him too much to say goodbye this easily. Okay, catch up with us, son. Tanet understands how his son feels. The fact that his family agreed to follow him abroad and live in an unfamiliar country due to his job made him feel guilty enough. They say goodbye again before Tanet leads his wife and daughter to the gate inside. Long Pao watches them and tells his brother he'll wait by the opposite escalator. Now that they're left alone, Siu holds Cake's gaze. I'm leaving you, the bigger boy smiles. Don't cry. I won't, he promised. I'll be back soon. Can you be back sooner than 3 years? The bigger boy smiles. I can't, but I'll be back as soon as possible, okay? Okay. Seo nods. Give me a hug. Seo nearly can't hold back his tears when Cake spreads his arms. The smaller boy steps forward and gets pulled into a hug. Cake rocks Seo the way he used to do in the past when comforting him. Come back quickly. Yeah, I won't loiter around. Don't forget me. Why would I? No matter how close you are to others, don't stop loving me. Never. Cake laughs. I'll be active on MSN regularly. You remember how to log in, right? Yes. I'll be off now. You can hug me for another 5 seconds. Seo thinks it's the shortest 5 seconds in his life. Take care of yourself, Io, the bigger boy says, pulling away. He smiles and looks into Seo's eyes in earnest. Did Seo's brown eyes become lighter? Will it be even lighter after this? His bangs are longer, nearly covering his eyes. Will he trim them or leave them longer? When they meet again, what will change in the person before him? Cake feels lonely just by the thought of it. You too, don't get sick. Cake smiles. You too. Seo clenches his fists and tells himself a dozen times not to cry. He looks at Cake and steps closer before deciding to stand on his toes and kiss Cake's cheek. His heart races when he pulls back with his eyes on his feet. Good luck. Seo tries his hardest to steady his voice. Having received a kiss on the cheek, Cake puts his hand on the skin where those soft lips touched. His heart beats so fast it hurts. I love you, Cake. Cake holds his breath when the boy with dark brown eyes gazes up at him. He nods awkwardly. I love you too. They've said this thousands of times, but Cake has never blushed this much. They say goodbye, hold each other's hands again, then slip them out of each other's grip. Cake's back soon disappears behind the entrance. Siu takes a deep breath. Even if he's not a brave or brilliant person, there's one thing he will never commit. He will never break his promise with Cake. Since Siu said he wouldn't cry, he won't. Since Siu said he would wait, he will never give up. The small boy takes a handkerchief out of his pocket. It's a blue fabric with a cloud embroidered on a corner that Cake gave him yesterday. In case you cry when I'm gone, you can wipe your tears with this instead of my hands. Its owner said that. However, CEO won't use it, so come back quickly. Even though he said he was fine and tried to act like everything was okay, his true feelings surfaced eventually. Long Pa was worried about his brother more and more every day since Cake left a week ago. Siu wouldn't read his favorite books. Siu wouldn't eat his favorite snacks. Siu talked less than before, and his smile wasn't as bright as before. When Siu got home, he'd stare at the computer screen without doing anything else. Long Pao sighs when he walks into the living room and sees his brother sitting in his usual spot. He approaches Siu and props his hand on his head. The chat box of the inactive boy floats on the screen. It's not even over there. He won't be active right now. Siu nods but won't close the window. Yeah, I understand. You want to go out and have some desserts with me? We can buy toys. I don't want to. You've been here for a week. Cake might be active soon. Long Pao doesn't want to argue with his brother, though he knows the boy on the other continent won't turn on his computer to chat with CEO. The time zone is highly different. When CEO finishes studying, Cake is about to go to school. I bought sago. You wanna have some now? I'm not hungry. You can have it all. Long Pao breathes in deeply and drags a chair to sit next to his brother. You. Being called with a serious tone, Theo diverts his eyes from the screen to meet his older brother's gaze. Yes, you're aware that the time here is far different from where Cake is, aren't you? I am. I know you are. I saw you set the clock in Mama's room to the US time zone. Theo nods. Then, you must know Cake is about to go to school at this moment. Why do you still turn on the computer after you get home every day? Well, Cake might be online for 5 minutes. Do you really think so? Getting another question, the boy who answered softly earlier goes silent. Long Pao casts a gentle smile. Why wouldn't he understand his brother's feelings? CEO isn't as strong as he thinks he is. What he's doing is a way to cope and try to pass each day without feeling too sad, even if it's simply a distraction that drowns the thoughts in his mind. Wanna eat sago with me? You have to live. Long pauses, stroking his brother's head. Live better than when Cake was here. Take care of yourself better than Cake did. Be the CEO that grows bigger and better. You can't stay the same or become worse when Cake comes back, right? Yes, CEO can't be like that, he promised. I'll be the better version of me. Good boy. Long Pao compliments. Let's turn off the computer. Okay. And if you can't chat due to the different time zones, I have another way. CEO looks up and turns to his brother in enthusiasm. What is it? Long Pao's lips curl up. He ruffles CEO's hair affectionately. Thailand and the US aren't that far in his feelings. End of chapter 14.